Most people know me as a tech entrepreneur, but for me, coding and startups are just a means to an end. For a long time, my North Star was gaming and content creation. I'm proud of what I've done, but I'm not sure I want to do this for the rest of my life. Since I've had a full-time job again for the last year and a half, I've been able to take my foot off the gas and explore. I thought about being a biotech entrepreneur, so I spent a few months contributing to an open source bioinformatics project. It was very hard for me to start anything on my own because I don't know much about biology. Maybe I'll come back to it in the future, but right now, there's something else I gotta do.
Hey, Will. Is it all right if I hit record before we jump in for the team's reference?
Oh, for sure. Actually, I was just gonna ask if I could record.
Absolutely.
Recording in progress.
But yeah, otherwise, I would love to learn a little more about you and the project. And if everything sounds good on our end, I could share some more about AirDev and our process and next steps going forward.
Cool. It was not cool. I was frustrated because I felt like I wasn't getting enough stuff done, and I thought the solution was to hire a lot of people so I could get more stuff done and reduce my FOMO. Turns out this is kind of hard when you don't know what you want to do. So as far as the project that we're working on right now, the gist of it, it's basically, we've had a bunch of small roadblocks here and there the past few weeks, but,
if you want, like I said, if you want to send over the wireframes, I'll take a look at it with our team early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and I can get back to you.
I realize, I think you might have TBD as the name. Do you have a name you're working with or not quite yet?
Oh, we're still thinking about it. We still don't have a name yet. Any ideas? This determines whether or not we're successful.
Yeah, I guess whatever question I ask you is just kind of like, well, we'll see what we can make from it later on, right? That's basically the answer.
What was the question?
What's the idea?
Maybe if we yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I get overconfident. I feel like I can do anything, and I forget about what I'm actually good at. I'm very scrappy and I can figure things out as I go, but in order to do this effectively, I need to be hands-on with the product I'm building, both as a developer and a user. Even though delegating work is very important, I was doing this too early. Oh, okay, so Ling, like Shua hasn't told you anything yet?
No.
She asked me, what are your thoughts on joining a startup? And I'm like, do you mean like a pre-seed, seed round startup?
So she means like joining us.
Okay.
I was relying too much on other people to stay motivated. I wanted to go back to my roots and start building a simple product that I would use myself. So how can we use machine learning generated art for game development? There are all these apps for generating images from text. Apparently it's the trend now, but they work pretty well. So I was wondering if we could do the same thing for 3D models that we could drop into a game. It's actually been 2 years since I launched any piece of software on my own. I keep thinking that the next thing I work on has to be really big and have to outdo myself. And because of that, I'm just not getting anything done. So this time I made sure not to do that. I started off by building some momentum and launching the simplest thing I could. A Unity plugin that lets you generate images using one of the popular open source models. These are just static images, so we're very far off from having animated 3D assets that we can productionize, but it could still be useful for prototyping or for simple graphics in something like a board game or a card game. I spent my evenings for the last couple weeks making this. It's not very good, but I put it up for free on the asset store, and I'll add a link in the description once it's approved.
This is more meta. Like how passionate are you about this problem? Versus
yes, great question.
You're trying to come up with a hotshot startup idea.
We remind you that your face covering is mandatory and must be worn.
I'm flexible about what idea I'm working on and who I'm working with. I just want to build the best company I can in a domain that I care about. I know that I can get behind any idea that I choose to immerse myself in. But the flip side is that I'm less attached to whatever project I'm working on, and sometimes I'll pause something that's going well just because I prioritized something else. This is a bad strategy for making money, and many people have criticized me for this, but in case you haven't noticed, this is not a tech career advice channel. I do understand though that money is very important for getting things done, and when it's time for me to become a full-time entrepreneur again, I plan on making a lot.
Have you ever read The Counterpunch, Crystal? So everyone loves it, but like what everyone loves is the abridged version of it, because back when Alexandre Dumas actually wrote it, he was getting paid per word. So if you try to read the unabridged version, it's a fucking snooze fest.